And Jeff, I'm glad you're with us today. We're talking about,
Did you want to start over?
I'm sorry, something just happened. Yeah, if you would, Brenda, if you'll start once the video. All right, let's jump into our level up with Loren Lahav.
What are some of the distinctions you've made? Who in our audience has made a distinction that they want to share? Anyone? Anybody had a breakthrough? Dwayne, I want to know. Dwayne McCarthy. First of all, give it up for Dwayne. Give it up for Dwayne. How long have you been with, I don't know if we've got a mic, but how long have you been with the Juice Plus company? I think we got your mic. And this is amazing Chili who's organized so much. So yes.
Thank you, Loren. I've been with the company a little more than 32 years.
Wow.
I know you look at me, look how young I look. You're thinking there's no way, but 32 years. And it's been a beautiful ride.
And so what for you right now, why are you, I know we were talking last night, why are you more excited than ever before?
I think that in our lives, we all go through different times when we have different needs. And, you know, maybe there's a financial need, maybe there's a personal need. Financially, I'm not in great need, but I need to leave that legacy. We have a large family, my wife and I. Sean Myers, thank you. My beautiful wife here too. You're not the only one, got a hot wife. But anyway, back to my story. But no, to make an impact and to leave that legacy is what it's all about. And I know I have the best vehicle to do that. You know, not only has Juice Plus been a part of our entire life from the beginning, we were there when they rolled it out in San Diego, like so many of you, and it has literally changed our lives. And we're just getting started all over again. Awesome. So thank you.
Awesome. Give a big hand. Give a big hand. Probably one of the most valuable pieces I would say is the profile sheet. How many of you use your profile sheets? Anybody use profile? Oh my gosh. No, if you want to win it, anybody know who's done a profile sheet? My first homework with Cheryl Cortese at conference, and she says, your job is to go home and I want you to fill out 15 of these profile sheets. Well, I was on the airplane with Lenora Bayless and Kenny Bayless, and who welcomed me to Juice Plus family. And I got so fired up, I filled out 56 profile sheets. Because when you start really thinking about people that you know, love, and care about, and you write down, you know, who are they? What are the qualities that you love the most about them? This is our opportunity. Jeff Roberti always says, you know, long-term relationships equal long-term success. What are some long-term relationships that maybe you haven't, how many of you haven't taken care of some of your long-term relationships? And you see people getting older, you see people's health maybe fading, you see them not being able to do some of those dreams. So once again, our business is really a responsibility. I'm going to take you through something super quick because we want to be respectful of your time and we want to get to all of the speakers that we have. But this is just a tool that I use that I learned many years ago from someone and thought about how important it is for our business. And this is something that's called the leadership wheel. And if you think of great leaders in history, name some great leaders in history. Just yell them out or put it in the chat. Who are some great leaders in history? Real quick. Yell it out. Martin Luther King, Jay Martin. Who are some other leaders in history? Einstein. Great. Keep going. Jesus. What do great leaders do? What do great leaders do? Share, inspire. Mother Teresa, I see. Martin Luther King, Oprah. Keep going. Lots of great people. What do they do? Lincoln. What do great leaders do? They serve. They listen. True. Oh, look, we got Travis up there. And we got Jay Martin. What do great leaders do? Great leaders create change. Great leaders create change. That's what leadership is about. It's about what can we do to create change. And as we're hearing, think for yourself what you need to do to create change for yourself, maybe how you show up, right? We always talk about what's the difference that makes the difference? We're the difference that makes the difference. We always talk about that, you need to be someone you're not is to waste the person that you are. And so this is about looking at something called the leadership wheel. So I want you to think real quick. Who needs great presentation skills? Who? Everyone needs great presentation skills. When you're doing a business meeting, do you need great presentation skills? I would tell you, I have seen a lot of speakers out there, a lot of people that do things, and there is a handful of what I would call 1% speakers. How many of you would agree? So a lot of people that they're good, but your job is what can you do to get better in your presentation? Your kids need to do it in school, right? Yes. So, or now on Zoom and so many different ways. So your job is to get great at your presentation skills. Look for certain, we all have what we would call pad words. Who knows what a pad word is? So, yes, all of these different things. So we want to look at, I want you to give yourself a number. If the middle was a 0 and the edge was a 10, where would you give yourself on presentation skills right now? The other thing with regards to presentation skills, and it's why it's so important, are great people that really do great with presentation skills. It doesn't feel like they're doing a presentation. You ever notice that? It's more about what? Having a what with you? A conversation with you. That's why our story and getting our story down is so important in this business. It's the most important thing that you authentically share your story over and over. I remember when I started the business, I would line up my daughter's Barbie dolls and I would do my presentation with them. And then I would move up to, I did. And then I would move up to the stuffed animals. But getting out there and doing it over and over and over again. So your presentation skills. Another important thing about presentation skills is being able to move people how? Emotionally. That they feel like they really matter. Like that it's not, you're not, once again, that you're not just a canned presentation with regards to things. So how many of you gave yourself above a 5? Give me if you gave yourself above a 5 in that. Above a 5, great. So we got here. So please make sure to put where are you with regards to page 33 in the workbook. The next thing that we want to talk about is event skills. Who needs to plan an event? All of us need to plan an event, whether it's a business meeting, right? Or whether it's a wine and wellness event. I think Dwayne, you just said you did a really cool event. You guys did, what was the event that you just did? Wine and chocolate pairing, right? There's so many opportunities with regards to it. So where are you at on your event skills? Do you know how to create an environment? Is there music? Or there welcome gifts for people? Do people feel like they know exactly what to do at the event? Do you have a great little exercises for people? So give yourself a number on event skills. Where would you give yourself on event skills? Team skills. Team is a really interesting thing. There's something that's called, it's so great. It's called the breadth and the depth of leadership. Breadth of leadership is what? Who is your immediate contacts that we're talking about, our profile sheets, the people that we know. But a great leader is a great what? Anybody know? A great leader is a great duplicator. So a great leader goes, I'm going to teach you this, but then what do we have? That's why we have the hub, that we have all these resources that we want to make sure that we can duplicate it and keep it simple. You might have heard it said that it's 1, 2, 3 too many. So if you give people too many things to do, what are they going to do? Absolutely nothing. So this is a great way to help your team understand where they're at and where they need to improve as well. Communication skills. Right? Do you understand? We always talk about our job in this business is to become a master asker, right? God gave you 2 ears and 1 mouth. You've heard it. It's a clue. Listen. People will love to talk about who? Themselves. Let them. They will tell you so much. So your job with regards to communication is to be a great listener in that area. The other thing that we want to talk about as well is life skills. Are you walking your talk? Are you doing the shred? Are you, doing all the programs that are in place? There's so many wonderful workbooks that are happening. There's so, that have been created for us. So many great events that all you need to do is model those events. I know that Beverly, she's created some great events as well. I mean, there's so many things that we can go to with our Sunlights are offering to everybody to do. So this is just a quick little overview for you to look at. What do you really need to do? And the other thing is we want to talk about levels of leadership. Who's the most important person that you need to lead? Yourself. You need to know what drives you. You can't have an influence really on people until you know what's driving you. You know, at my wall, and this is not about me, but on my wall, I have pictures of all of my NMDs and all of our rising stars. And I look at them every day and I remind them, like, how can I help their dreams come true? So what's something little that you can do? Who are 4 or 5 people that you can put on your vision board and write down what their goals are, and not just make it just about what you're going to get out of this, but who you're really going to help. So we talk about, you need to know what inspires you. Today, write down, put it in the Facebook group, put it in the chat. Let us know, what is it that's driving you? What's driving you? Is it for your kids? Is it for the future? Is it, like we said, our why changes, but going back to that leadership and seeing where you're at is super, super important. Everybody good? So I'm going to quickly, you've got it there. We can talk a little bit more about that, but I'd like to bring up another amazing woman who's building a business. I think it's almost 60% of her business. She's in Australia, and over 60% of her business is here in the United States. How many of you would like that, right? How many of you would like to build international? How wonderful that we have an opportunity that you can build globally. You want to think locally, but you also want to start locally, but you want to think globally as well. So I'm going to go ahead and bring up Sophie. She's going to be coming in here from Australia. So can you please give it up for Sophie? Hello. I didn't have your bio up to say, so I apologize. But Sophie, we are so glad to have you here. And congratulations. I know you were just with us at conference. How many people you were just with us in Australia. How many people from your team were at the Australia conference? Whoops, she's mute her volume. Let's try it again. How many people did you have at the Australia conference?
I had about 10 there.
10 there. And then in the United States, when you were just here, how many people did you have over here at conference with us? It's a lot.
Yeah, I think we had about 15.
15 people, right? So 15 people, give her a big hand with regards to that. So 15 people at conference there, 10 people there. So go ahead. I'm going to give you the floor.
Amazing. Thank you so much. So yes, hi everyone. My name is Sophie and I live on the Gold Coast in Australia. And I've been a part of this amazing community now for over 6.5 years. I joined in January 2017 and I was working as a registered nurse at the time. And I really just wasn't fulfilled as a nurse. It wasn't how I wanted to be helping people with their health and their wellness. And I really just craved more from my life. Does anyone else resonate with that? Like, you just know that there's more out there for you. And I really saw the possibilities of what this could be for me, the opportunity that having an online income with the Juice Plus business, how it was such a perfect vehicle to really help me live a life in alignment with my highest values, which are health, freedom, fun, flexibility, and travel. Travel and health are my highest values. So I am very excited that it's been over 5 years now since I've left nursing, and I've actually just spent almost a month on a tiny little island in Indonesia, living my absolute best mermaid life. If you know me, I am basically part mermaid. I love the ocean, and when I was there, I was just so grateful and just so proud that I had never given up on my vision. I had always dreamed of being able to travel more. I'd always dreamed of being able to just, decide to go away for a month and really just continue to show up even when it's been hard, and always hold the vision that I have and trust the process. And that's something that I've really anchored into over the last 6.5 years, because it has not been smooth sailing, and everything has just been amazing. Of course, we have had some amazing milestones and we've had some really big highs, but we've also had a lot of challenges. We've also had a lot of obstacles in the way, and just all of the emotions of everything in between. And the first 2 years of my business, you know, it was growing very rapidly. I probably couldn't stop it if I tried. It was very exciting. And we very quickly expanded into a global international business, and we reached NMD in March 2019. And like Loren said, I currently only have 26% volume in Australia. So it's been really exciting to continue having an international business, which I love because I have business besties all over the world now that I can visit, I can travel with, we get to go to events together. But it's really funny because I never actually intentionally grew international. And I really know wholeheartedly it was because I was so clear on my vision. I knew my values. I knew that travel was one of the highest ones of them. And I attracted like-minded and continue to amazing women from different parts of the world to not only do business with, but I get to do life with. But having an international team with only 26% in Australia, it does come with many challenges because it means many different time zones. It means many different cultures, language barriers, but challenges and discomfort will come with any business, will come with you evolving your business. And when I really reflect on my time here, there really have been many moments where it could have been so easy to give up. And I know a lot of you have probably been there too. And I was reflecting that when I thought about the team that we had, the collective that did reach NMD those first 2 years, I'm going to say 95%, if not more, are no longer here. And that has been a challenge in itself. And again, what I've always come back to is hold my vision and trust the process, because you have to know where you're going. And I'm not going to go into vision now. That's a whole other talk. But how do you want your life to be? Why are you doing this? That's come up a lot today. And something that I really loved was the quote, make your vision stronger than any doubts, because then trusting the process is going to be even easier. And the process, it is going to include the good times, hitting the promotions, having team win, being recognized for things, the emotional revenue that we get to experience. But the quicker that you can accept and understand and trust that the things that are put on our path that do challenge us, that dysregulate us, that often can chip away at our belief, our confidence, they're necessary, because we can't grow in this business. We can't evolve into the next version of us. We can't reach new levels if we stay the same. So I really learned to trust that everything that was put in my path was so perfect, even when it was very challenging. And the moments where we feel the most discomfort, it is the most beautiful opportunity for us to lean in when all we want to do desperately is to lean out, and having the courage enough to do that. And I'm going to toot my own horn for a second here. A couple of months ago, I won the Partner of the Month in Australia. And when I really reflected on what that meant for me, it, like I said at the start, it was just a really beautiful internal reminder and gratitude for myself that I was still here and I never gave up. And two things that I've really anchored into and embodied over the last few years, and I think are really important to consciously choose every single day, because it is a choice. We get to hold ourselves to a higher standard, and I think we have a responsibility to be our best selves, is consistency and resiliency. And I feel like consistency gets spoken about a lot, yet a lot of people just do not prioritize it. They do not practice it. They don't implement it. And then they wonder why their business isn't growing. So think of your business and the success and the momentum that you may want to create. It's like a snowball. If you're only picking up your business and doing the income producing activities here, here, and here, or when you feel like it, it's going to be very hard for you to create that momentum. You might have heard the story about the penny doubling every day for 30 days. If you double a penny every day for 30 days, it ends up being $5,368,709.12 in just 30 days. Imagine that's the compound effect that can happen And that kind of momentum you can create if you're consistent with the high paying activities in your business. And it's something that I have really practiced from the beginning. Yes, I've taken time off. Yes, I have rested and recharged because I know that will help me show up as my best. But I honestly have never taken a step back from my business or put my business down and picked it up over here, because we can trust the process and we can have the vision and we can trust that everything's going to work out, and that is important. But a part of the process is you doing your part. You have to show up regularly, consistently, not just when it is convenient. And a question for you is, are you going to have a business of commitment or convenience? I'm going to say that again. Are you going to have a business of commitment or convenience? Because the results will be very different. So you've heard this again today. You have to live the mission. You have to take inspired action. And if you do it consistently, the more that you do that, it's going to create self-trust within yourself, which I think is one of the key components in this business. Because the more self-trust you have within yourself, the more action that you will take, the more belief you'll have within yourself, the more confidence you'll have within yourself. So it's like a positive loop. Then the more action that you will take, therefore the more results that you will get. But that loop can go the other way. And what I've really learned is people need multiple exposures to this, to anything, before they say yes. Multiple exposures, whether that be you sharing it with them, whether it be you seeing you know, taking your products on your stories. And maybe just think about your own experiences. How long did it take you to say yes to this? For some people, it's very quick. For some people, it's a longer time. For me, it took about 3 months. For my upline, Shani, it was 6 months. For her uplines, it was 6 years. For Loren, it was 17 years. And I want you to think about the next time you question, oh, should I share about that today? Should I share about the products today? Should I share with that person today? Should I follow up with that person today? What if that person or somebody watching you just needs one more exposure for them to say yes? They might need to see you sharing just one more time. And a lot of my new team and customers that come through, they've been months, if not years of conversations. And so that's why it's really, that's why being consistent with you sharing this gift that we have, living the mission, leading from the front is so important. And especially if you have team. So a question that you guys can go away with and journal later on is, where can I be more consistent with my business? Is it the income producing activities? Is it having something inspiring in your ears every day? Is it asking for feedback from your upline? Is it taking your products? So resiliency is the second thing, because I think building resilience has been one of my most challenging but favorite parts of this journey. And the definition of resilience is the capacity to withstand or to recover quickly from difficulties or toughness. And like, who can agree that there are many ways that we can feel challenged, things that feel difficult, things that feel tough, that can pull down on our belief, that can really rock us. But like I said before, these things are going to happen. And this muscle, it is a muscle. You have to practice it. It does get easier over time. But often what I come back to and what's really helped me is, what can you control in the situation? And often it's our mindset. It's our choice of how we see the situation. It's our courage to lean in instead of leaning out. And it is our responsibility to focus on what we can control instead of what we can't. So lean into that support. If there's one thing that's helped me through this journey, it's leaning into the support that we have. So I want to leave you with, it's very random. So when I was getting ready yesterday and I looked over at my vision board, which is full of ocean and travel and all of the things, but there was this quote that I actually don't even remember putting on there. And I read it and I was like, this is so fitting. So it says, do what is right for you. Do it over and over again. Lean into the light. Keep going even when it is hard, especially when it is hard. Do not let doubt stop you. Trust the process when your mood is low. Let growth be your mission. Let healing be your reward. Let freedom be your goal. Thank you so much.
Wow.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. And do it.
Am I the only one that let me figure out how to turn this off. There it went. Wow. Am I the only one, or was that Sophie? I have cold chills.
We need that quote, don't we?
I know the thing that I know, that whole quote, I wish I could have written it down, but the one thing I wrote of it was her line where it says, let growth be your goal. You know, if growth is our goal, we've all heard growing pains. It's understanding that's part of the growth process. Okay, so I got a bunch of things here I'm gonna ask y'all questions about. When she was talking about the profile sheets, how many people know what she's talking about? All right, I'm gonna get the profile sheets and I'm gonna put them on our Facebook group. I'm gonna put them on Voxer. You're gonna know what the profile sheets are. And that is for people who you want to have you join you in this business, and really taking the time to think about, what is it about this person that I like, that I would love to partner with? What are the skills that they have that would marry well with our Juice Plus business? And what it does is it gives you talking points. You've already thought about this person versus come join me. You know, when we just kind of say that, a lot of times people think, oh yeah, you just want me to help you build your business. But when you really take the time to identify who this person is and why you want to partner with them, why this business makes sense to them, you know, it gets you excited about inviting that person to join you. So that's going to be our homework this week. So I'm going to get that form out and let's start doing that with potential people. So profile sheets. One thing she said, long-term relationships equal long-term success. I love that thought. I love that. Okay, so let me ask you guys this question. When she was talking about the great leaders create change, what do you need to do to create change in your business? Think about that. You know what?